I got laid off and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. At 24 years old, starting my career out, working at the Ottawa Hospital, I thought that was going to be my trajectory for the next 35 years. People around me were talking about their pensions, and that was the safe bet. I just graduated with my MBA, came and worked at the hospital, making really good money, getting paid every 2 weeks. That was the dream job, especially in Ottawa, until it wasn't. Until someone had way more control and power over me, and I did not like it. I got let go at 24 years old, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Why? It pushed me into entrepreneurship. Would I have been an entrepreneur if that didn't happen to me? Who knows? But I promised myself that day that I wouldn't work for someone because I didn't want someone to have deeper control into my trajectory of my life than I did. So it was the best thing. And while building a personal brand, being vulnerable shows to the audience that you can be vulnerable and you can be relatable. And that's one thing while building this personal brand has really helped me. So if you're an entrepreneur out there and you're wanting to be vulnerable, do something like a podcast. Have deeper conversations where you don't have to speak in front of the camera. You could speak to someone and clip those vulnerability parts out so it's easier for you. The second thing that I really noticed while building a business is salary versus dividends. When you work for someone, you're a salary employee. In Canada, that does not create wealth because the higher the salary goes, the higher your tax goes. When you're incorporated, you shelter the money and you can dictate how much money you want per year. And what I realized while I was working at the hospital, I increased my salary, but I didn't net more money. Why? Because I got put in a different tax bracket. Where when you're incorporated, you net more money, you can keep it in the corporation and only take it out when you want to take it out. Huge advantage. 3, every day you're building yourself as the asset, not anyone else. You're putting content to yourself, you're building systems, processes, employees, you're building this engine for you to then it be worth something. And it took me over 10 years to build this engine to then sell and have multiple buyers wanting my business because the engine was so operationally sound. And that's so important because every day you're putting your energy and time into yourself, into your engine, into an asset that eventually will sell. I'm not saying all businesses do sell, but that's how you got to think. And one thing that I always looked at from a mentor was always build your exit in mind, which means, hey, are you taking on a business that's one-time multiple? You make $1 million, you could sell for $1 million. Some industries are like that. Some industries are $1 million equals $2 million in future sell. So if you make $1 million in revenue, you could sell for $2 million. That's a 2 times multiple. Some are 10 times revenue. You make $1 million and you can sell for $10 million. So always think about the exit in mind while creating a business and you'll be so far ahead. And finally, entrepreneurship, it's a lot of pain for a long period of time and then you get the reward. It took me 7 years to build a salary of what I was making at the hospital, knowing that I can take that money though and put it back into the business. And that's what I did. So even though it took 7 years of a lot of problems, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, at the 7-year mark, I made triple of what I made at the hospital. And then I quadrupled it. So it's a hockey stick. It goes smaller and then it scales up. And even this podcast, it's been 6 months. It's a slow grind, but then it's going to hit over time being consistent. And that as an entrepreneur, that's what you got to do. Those are a few examples of what I did in my career to be financially free at 34 years old. And if you're starting a business now today, do those 4 things. Really figure out your personal brand. There's going to be a pivotal time in your life. There's going to be times where you have to be consistent. And at the end of the day, you will have a story for yourself that you have to share and build that audience. Be authentic and go grow your small business.